Well, welcome to Dark Dave's shop. This is making a dream come true, and it's just basically us going over to Ocean City to pick up some coffee for my wife. I've sped up a huge amount of it, and no, it doesn't give the entire trip because traffic got so bad that we're like, yeah, that's enough. Plus, the camera gave out. Something about so much time and so many cars. But this is the part that I really wanted to show with this one. This is going over the Bay Bridge. Now, I've gone over a lot of bridges. A lot of them are really cool. I think the best one I went over was the Mackinac, and that was pretty fun to go over on the bike. This one, the rails, I'm not real sure about. I know they've stopped cars. I've also known that cars have gone over them, same with trucks. And we're on the head-facing one. The other lane that you can see over there to the right goes over. Basically, we're headed eastbound right now. I don't have the video going westbound, but later in the evening, about 6 hours from this, I was headed back in the same lane, but it was now 3 lanes coming back because of traffic. One of the things I like with doing it like this is I can speed areas up, I can slow them down, and for here I like showing the bridge a little better. One reason some of the videos are, within the 14 minutes is I'm not paying anything for it. I'm not asking when to pay for it. But, one day, who knows? I'm out on the Blue Dragon, which is my new tri-glide. Main reason it got named the Blue Dragon is whenever you fill out paperwork with bikes now to get all the digital stuff so that the bike will report to your phone and that, you have to give it a name. And I didn't want bike with this huge number after it, so I'm like, okay, I like dragons, so I will call it the Blue Dragon. This is the Chesapeake Bay, for those of you who aren't sure. It's very bumpy, so it keeps bumping my phone around, and that's about as tight as I can get it without breaking it. It's not going to go anywhere if it leans down. It's just I like being able to see it because I've got some information running on it. Yeah, some of it's the video itself. Hopefully you guys aren't afraid of heights or anything, because if you notice, we're pretty high up now. They are talking about making another span or another new coverage area that we would be drive across. I think it'd be a good idea because this one gets so packed up. We're going over towards Kent Island right now, and it's funny, when we first were buying a house, that's where we had looked. Due to a number of factors, one most importantly is the time it would take to get home on an average evening. Could run up to an hour just to get across this bridge, or more. And the fact that it's toll bridge, so it would not be fun. So for those of you who are watching this, if you could, in the subject area, tell me the bridges that you've gone over that you either really enjoyed or that were terrifying. I've so far never been over a bridge that just out and out terrified me. I've been over some that I was like, wow, this bridge really needs to be closed down and fixed or repaired, but none that I was like, okay, I'm too scared to drive over or anything. I'd say one of the best bridges I went over was down in Panama, the Bridge of the Americas. It's going over the canals. That's pretty cool to go over that, especially in a tracked vehicle. I don't know if you guys are seen some of the ships and boats down there, but they like to fish around the piers. Great fishing. The day we were going across was a very windy day. And yes, we did drive all the way to Ocean City just to get coffee. There is a coffee beanery. It's not on the beach or anything, but it's in the city of Ocean City. And my wife loves their coffee, and we're like, okay, we're not going to interact with anybody, but we can drive over there, get her coffee, and drive back. Plus, it gave us a chance to see, how it was to be on the bike for multiple hours. Excuse me for the yawn. Well, we're getting ready to speed back up here. Now we're almost done with the bridge. I like this area here because all of a sudden, boom, it seems so dark with the shades I had on for the sunlight. Then, boom, bright again. So let's see what we got here. Yep, my camera going off there. And we're on shore. This is Kent Island. And they have it all coned off so they can change out what lanes go where. This triglide is so stable it's pitiful. Only time it's a bit more gruff than, say, one of the ones with the split axle is when you're going over some very heavy bumps. Otherwise, it's a great bike. I've got over 3,000 miles on this. Yes, I've only had it since the last day of February, but I'm very impressed with it. I'm having a good time. It's funny how all the traffic on the highway seems exactly the same no matter where you're at. Not necessarily the thickness of the traffic, just highways are always highways. So I like going back roads a lot more, but going to Ocean City, yeah, it's usually better just take the highway unless you want to do an entire day just to get there. If you know anybody else who might be interested in these, go ahead and share them with them. They're open to the public. I am no expert or professional at this point. Not that I don't know people who do that, but I'm not charging money, I'm not asking for any, so I just put these out for people's enjoyment. And yes, I plan to film some other things associated with bikes, but with COVID, just the rides alone are probably a big part of what I'm going to be doing for a while. And because I'm still working from home and doing some work from work, it's not going to be as great of rides as some, but I do take at least one ride a week that I will try and film. Sometimes it takes me a bit more than a week to get the films all set back up. I don't know how many of you guys have ever been over to Maryland and driven around, but it's actually a beautiful state when you get out of the cities. Some of the cities are pretty cool because they have museums and art and everything else, but anymore, I prefer to be out of the city. I don't mind being in a town or something, but the big cities like Baltimore and DC and Annapolis, nah, I'd rather not be crushed up in all that. And I will get some music for these. Oh, by the way, we're finally coming up to the point where I was talking about traffic. From this point on, this took us about 30 minutes to get to here, maybe a little more. But from here to Ocean City, which is normally a 2-hour trip from our house, is about 4 hours. Now that includes stops because we do a couple more stops just because we need to get off the bike from time to time. We're not as young as we used to be. I've had a couple of people ask me who haven't seen me in years, or think that we should put our faces on these all the time. I'm like, well, it's the bike. That's what I'm doing this for. But I do end this with a quick shout out to myself or a quick video of myself doing something silly. Yep, race cars here decided to do stupid stuff, and it's funny, we saw them pulled over by the police later. Not all of them, but it was the black one. The black car, that is.
And we stop.